Right now, your lawn is walking into the most dangerous 6 weeks of the entire year, and most people are about to make it worse without even knowing it. Here is how it usually plays out. The grass looks fine all through June. Then the real heat sets in, and by the first or second week of July, the lawn starts to fade. That deep green turns a pale, tired yellow green. A week later, it is crunchy under your feet. By August, you have dinner plate-sized brown patches spreading across the yard, thin bare spots near the driveway, and maybe even skunks or birds tearing it up at night. And the worst part? By the time you actually see the damage, the mistake that caused it was already made weeks earlier. Because here is the part nobody tells you. Your lawn does not die from the heat itself. It dies from what you do to it during the heat, the well-meaning stuff you think is helping. So today, I am showing you the 5 things you need to stop doing to your lawn right now. Every one of them is free, every one of them is reversible, and number 1 is the single most damaging and the most common. So stick around for it. One quick note before we start. This is for cool season lawns, fescue, bluegrass, and ryegrass, which cover the northern 2/3 of the country. If you are down south with Bermuda or Zoysia, a couple of these rules flip, so drop your grass type in the comments and I will point you the right way. Number 5, stop cutting your grass short. In the heat, mowing low feels productive, the lawn looks neat and tidy, and you don't have to mow as often. But scalping your lawn in the middle of summer is one of the fastest ways to kill it, and here's exactly why. When you cut the grass short, you expose the soil to direct sunlight. That bakes the ground, drives the moisture out, and cooks the shallow roots near the surface. Short grass also has short roots. The height of the blade above the ground roughly mirrors the depth of the roots below it, so a scalped lawn simply can't reach deep enough to find water when it gets hot. And there's a third problem. Crabgrass seed needs direct sunlight hitting bare soil to germinate, so every time you scalp the lawn, you're basically planting next year's crabgrass for it. So do the opposite of what feels right. Raise your mower deck. For most cool season lawns, that means 3.5 to 4 inches, and you leave it there all summer long. Taller grass shades the soil and dramatically slows evaporation. It grows deeper roots that can chase down water, and it crowds out weeds before they ever start. 2 more rules that go with it. Never cut off more than the top third of the grass blade in a single mow. Taking more than that shocks the plant when it's already stressed. And keep your mower blade sharp. A dull blade tears and shreds the grass instead of slicing it cleanly, and those frayed, ragged tips turn brown and bleed moisture fast in the heat. Mow high, mow with a sharp blade, and never scalp. That one change alone will carry most lawns through the summer. Number 4, stop watering a little bit every single day. A quick 15-minute sprinkler run every evening feels like you're taking great care of your lawn. It's actually one of the worst things you can do to it in summer, for 2 big reasons. First, shallow daily watering only ever wets the top inch of soil, so the roots have no reason to grow deep, and they stay clustered right at the surface where it's hottest and driest. Then the first real heat wave hits, that shallow root system can't reach any moisture, and the lawn collapses in a matter of days. You've trained your grass to be fragile. Second, watering in the evening leaves the grass wet all night long, and warm, wet grass blades overnight are the exact conditions that lawn fungus, especially brown patch, needs to explode. Brown patch can take a healthy, green lawn down to bare dirt in about a week once it gets going. So here's what to do instead, and the good news is it's less work, not more. Water deep and infrequent. Give the lawn about 1 inch of water total per week, counting rain, delivered in just 1 or 2 long, deep soaks instead of daily sprinkles. And always water early in the morning, roughly between 4 and 10 in the morning. That timing lets the water soak deep before the sun can burn it off, and it lets the grass blades dry out before nightfall, which starves the fungus. Here's a dead simple way to know how long 1 inch actually takes on your system. Set a few empty tuna cans out across your sprinkler pattern, run the sprinklers, and time how long it takes to fill them to 1 inch. That's your number. Now you can stop guessing. Deep roots and dry nights. That's the whole secret to a lawn that survives a brutal summer. Number 3, stop fertilizing in the middle of summer. This one catches a lot of people off guard because the garden centers stack the shelves with summer feed bags all through June and July, practically begging you to buy one. But if you've got cool season grass, your lawn does something clever in the heat and it goes semi-dormant on purpose to protect itself and to conserve energy. Now think about what a big dose of nitrogen does to a plant that's trying to slow down. It force feeds tender new growth the lawn can't actually support in the heat. It spikes the plant's demand for water at the exact moment water is scarcest. And the mineral salts in the fertilizer can chemically scorch an already stressed lawn, causing those ugly yellow-brown streaks you sometimes see after someone fertilizes in summer. So the single best move here is the bag you don't buy. Put the spreader away after your spring feeding and don't pick it up again until fall, when the grass wakes back up and can actually use it. If your lawn looks a little pale in the meantime and it's driving you crazy, you can use a small dose of liquid iron that greens it up cosmetically without forcing a bunch of growth you'll have to water. But skip the heavy summer nitrogen completely. The one big exception. If you're in the deep south with warm season grass like Bermuda or Zoysia, those genuinely thrive in summer heat and can be fed right through it. That's the opposite situation. But for everyone up north on cool season grass, hands off the fertilizer until things cool down. Number 2, stop spraying weed killer in the heat. It's a tempting one. The weeds are popping up everywhere, they're an eyesore, and you want them gone today. But almost every lawn weed killer comes with a warning on the label that nobody ever reads. Do not apply when temperatures are above about 85 to 90 degrees. And in real summer heat, 2 separate things go wrong. First, your grass is already under serious stress from the heat, and the herbicide piles a chemical stress right on top of that. So instead of just killing the weeds, you end up with yellow, scorched, damaged streaks across your good grass too. Second, certain common weed killer ingredients, like 2,4-D and dicamba, actually turn into a vapor in hot weather and drift through the air onto everything nearby. Your flowers, your vegetable garden, your shrubs, even your neighbor's plants. So if you've got weeds in the middle of a heat wave, the move is simple. Just wait. Either pull the worst ones by hand for now, or spot treat them on a cooler, calm morning when it's under about 85 degrees and there's no wind to carry the spray. The weeds will absolutely still be there when it cools down. Your grass might not be, if you torch the whole lawn trying to kill a few weeds in 95-degree heat. Quick one before the biggest mistake of all. If your lawn is already looking rough right now, thin, patchy, a little brown, don't panic, because almost everything we've covered is reversible the moment you stop doing it. But the number one thing on this list is the single most damaging mistake of the summer, and it's also the most common, because it feels exactly like you're being a responsible, hardworking homeowner. So stick with me for this one. And number 1, the biggest summer lawn mistake of all: do not aerate, dethatch, or throw down grass seed right now, in the heat. This is the one that wastes the most money and does the most damage, and it's so common because it feels like you're actively fixing your lawn when you're really doing the opposite. Let's take them one at a time. Aerating and dethatching both physically tear the lawn open. They pull out plugs of soil and rake out the thatch layer, which is fantastic in the right season but brutal in the wrong one. Doing that in peak summer heat, when the grass is already barely hanging on, can shove a struggling lawn straight over the edge into death. You've wounded the plant at the worst possible moment. And throwing down cool season grass seed in July is, honestly, just setting money on fire. Cool season seed needs cool soil, around 50 to 65 degrees, to germinate. Drop it into hot summer soil and most of it simply cooks and never sprouts. The little bit that does come up emerges as weak, thread-thin seedlings with almost no root system, and they fry and die in the very first heat wave. You spent $40, $50, $60 on seed to grow nothing. The right time to aerate, dethatch, and overseed a cool season lawn is late summer into early fall, once the heat finally breaks and the soil cools back down. That's when the grass is actively growing again, the seed germinates fast, the weeds are dying back instead of competing, and the new roots have time to get established before winter. So put the aerator, the dethatcher, and the seed bag away, and do not touch them until September. Trying to renovate your lawn in July is the single fastest way to turn a tired lawn into a dead one. So if those are the 5 things to stop doing, let me give you the flip side fast. The entire summer survival protocol, because it's almost embarrassingly simple. 1. Mow high, mow with a sharp blade, and leave the clippings on the lawn. They break down in a week or so, and hand a real chunk of free nitrogen back to your grass, so you're literally feeding it for nothing. 2. Water deep, once or twice a week, early in the morning, and use that tuna can trick to dial in your time. 3. Do nothing else. No fertilizer, no weed killer in the heat, no aerating, no seeding. Honestly, the hardest part of summer lawn care is convincing yourself to leave the lawn alone, but a stressed lawn doesn't need more projects. It needs less stress. And 4, the one thing actually worth watching for. If you start seeing circular tan or brown patches showing up after a stretch of hot, humid nights, that's brown patch fungus getting started. That's the single summer problem worth treating early. Do those few things, skip the 5 mistakes, and your lawn coasts through the worst of the summer green and healthy, while half the street goes crispy and brown. So to recap the 5 things to stop doing this summer: don't scalp your grass short, don't water a little bit every day, don't fertilize cool season grass in the heat, don't spray weed killer when it's hot, and don't aerate or seed until fall. When in doubt this summer, do less. Raise the mower, water deep in the morning, and leave the rest alone. If this saved your lawn and your wallet, do me a favor and hit subscribe. This is Yardworthy, where we show you how to get the yard you want without wasting money. I'll see you in the next one.